Can I be done? Can I be done? I'm really sorry, but I have to be braggy for just a second. Officially, this is the time when I do my "you earned it, girl," like read a book time, you know? And I've also added something else into my routine. Okay, so I was distracted slightly by some YouTube. Feeling proud of something and then feeling like cringe about it. Do I want to look like a soccer mom? Not sure. Welcome back to this mini-series where we try to get back into a routine and get back into writing. Sort of like parallel timelines. We have like a week in February and we have the present looking back. You just have to go with it. So this is the third installment, kind of combining day 3 and 4 because they just go well together, you'll see. And it's also the final installment because basically by day 5 I was kind of tired of vlogging, and after that my mood and motivation go down, and I would rather end on a high note. And also to the topic of getting back into writing, like now in the present, I'm like fully locked into writing. It's awesome, actually. The series is kind of like done what it was supposed to do. And at the end, I will tell you a little bit about the changes that I'm currently making to my routine and how like the writing is going. And before we get going, I also wanted to, I'm working on a video all about how I dictate, like the whole process and my tips and everything. And so if you have any questions, anything specific that I should address in that video, let me know in the comments. You will see me dictate in the past as well. It has changed a little bit, but yeah, you will get a sort of like a taste. Anyway, let's get going. Here we go. Good morning. It's Wednesday, 6:30. My disaster bangs are doing what disaster bangs do. I feel like I look a little bit like I'm in a 80s or 90s boy band. Could be wrong. Anyway, it's time to write. I'm hoping, or like I'm planning to just ideate a little bit before I get going. Maybe that lady comes up to her and inadvertently gives her some sort of clue. But how would that happen? Why would she give a clue? What kind of clue? Like he wouldn't talk about this in public because he thinks he has like power in his hands. He wouldn't give it away. Just skip all of that. I'll figure that out later. We're at the point where she knows she's going to break into that room. Yes, I think I have it. Took me only 10 minutes. Yeah, now the actual writing is going to start. People are like snapping their fingers for her to come. A band is playing. Where have they hidden that band this whole time? Having requests at the oddest hours. Some paper to write, or some snack at midnight, or someone to draw them a portrait as they stand on their balcony looking over the ocean. Why is Juan so smitten with her at this point? I'm not sure. I'll flesh that out later. I don't know, maybe there's someone who like tells ghost stories about the ocean or something. Really? You think being a server is better than being a guest on these? Well, Malakatsin, I wouldn't mind a good fluffy bed. You might think that all you have to do to stay afloat on the sea is just to let yourself drift. You have to work against the current. You have to brace against the winds. I feel like people on land are more
They talk of us as if we're a different species. Well, I must admit, some people can be both. But there's a difference, there's a marked difference, and since I've lived both lives, I feel like I have some authority to say so. Fine, why admit it? The bristles she put on were just for show anyway, and in some strange way I got my wish. But it was not a wish. She corrected herself. It was not a wish. After our business burned down, the warehouse burned down, the horizon was wider, just a fraction. Where your stair would have met wall, you could see across the river. It wasn't the freedom that I had imagined. Having a path ripped away from you is no better than having a path chosen for you. She stole away into the hallway and let the door swing shut behind her, taking with it the noise.
So it's 9:15, so not 9 on the dot, but good enough for now. And I'm going to have, I have 45 minutes now to work on application stuff, and then after that, depending also on how punctual my virtual colleague is, I have 45 minutes until we do our co-working for 2 hours. As expected, we're seeing the slight emotional dip. It's not I don't know how you would call that. It's just a dip. It's not a complete abyss, let's call it. But yeah, I'm glad I already wrote today and that it went better than yesterday, and I was like kind of enjoying myself because at that time I was like feeling myself, and I was happy-go-lucky. So yeah, that's maybe another reason why I like writing first thing in the morning, because like the day and your worries and all of that haven't yet caught up to you. That's all I wanted to say. Back to work. So yesterday all day I was like, I remind myself of someone and I couldn't put my finger on it, but I just realized it. Do you know the show Orphan Black? I love that show. And like with the bangs and the like color palette and everything, I feel like I very much had Alison Hendricks from Orphan Black energy. Let me put some images of her here. I don't know, I'm not necessarily mad at it. I don't know, I mean, do I want to look like a soccer mom? Not sure. Sorry, I swear I'm working. Very quick meta moment. So I was looking over a job posting, which like I collected a bunch, and now I looked into this one. I didn't think at first that it would be a good fit for me, or I would be a good fit for them. But now that I looked at it closer, I think it's actually, I'm not gonna say perfect, but it would be awesome. And one of the things that they are asking in the application is like a little graphic. I was thinking, I very recently made a YouTube channel banner, which, in my humble opinion, is freaking beautiful. I thought I might, this is like the best example that I can really give. And so I just published it. I actually planned to publish the first video at the same time, or like very close to the second. But I just published it, which It had been sitting there for 4 days. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I must say, I was at the moment when I finished it extremely proud. Like, I was bursting from the seams with pride because, I mean, honestly, there was so much work in it, and I learned so much over the span of just the 3 days that I was working on this. Yeah, I still am proud. I will say there are things that I would do differently now, but I'm not going to freak out about this, about the idea that someone that I'm like professionally interested in, if they like checked out the first few seconds of it, I don't know. I'm trying to still feel proud of it, but yeah, but now I have to recenter and focus on actually writing this job this job application. So yes, I don't know, and I'm always worried that I'm like getting ahead of myself, and in most cases it never did pan out, or I had to decline for some reason, mostly health reasons, but yeah. Anyway, okay, I have to focus. All right. So it's 7:15 and I already ate dinner. Officially, this is the time when I do my winding down free time. You earned it, girl. Like, read a book time, you know? However, the thing is, I started on that job application, and I'm sorry, I'm like kind of distracted. So I started on that job application, where I'm like feeling a modicum of hope, which like that little bit has me being freaking giddy. Okay. And the deadline is in 2 days, which in that time I also have to, like, ideally I would get 2 other job applications done this week. It's Wednesday, so gonna do like a little bit chop. Like, I'm still feeling energetic, honestly a little bit riled up, so which could be a sign that it's a good idea to wind down instead. Should I or should I not stick to this plan today? Should this be an exception or not? That is what I'm asking myself. Maybe I could just do like an hour more. I doubt that I definitely wouldn't get it done today unless I worked until late in the night and then tomorrow everything is off. But like, I could do an hour more and just cut my free time short just a little bit, just to like get ahead and make sure that I can get the application done. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So back to work just a little bit. No more. I'm done. I mean, I'm not done, but I'm done. So it's almost 10 p.m. I'll have time to like read a single page. At least I'm going to bed on time, so I'll be fresh tomorrow in the morning again. I'm honestly kind of excited to write tomorrow because I left it off on like a moment of high, not drama, but like suspense, kind of. We'll call it suspense. I feel like today the writing went much better then yesterday, I think it was a good idea for me to spend this, I think it was 10 minutes where I was just talking out loud, brainstorming what kind of conversation I could build this scene around. Yeah, but I think it went quite well. All things considering, I just plugged that in and took the transcript, and that is like the before of what then I put into the Scrivener doc. Like I have to do the formatting first. So I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I think it was I feel like the angle is very weird. In the end I had 3,000 and like almost 700 words. Now don't get too excited because that also includes words like I don't know, or find something better here, or would she actually do that? It's not all actual real words. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself for like I really did sit down for 30 minutes and then 30 minutes more, which is good because in terms of the job application, I often have this, I don't know, it's kind of like a conflict between feeling proud of something and wanting it to share, but then feeling like cringe about it. Like if I look back at it after, I'm going to be embarrassed about it. I don't know. I often get the sense like I share too much, or I'm like too personal and unprofessional, which I don't know. I feel like I don't really have that many settings. Like I'm personal and like sometimes excited, sometimes whatever. Like the professional setting just feels so forced, and sometimes I don't manage it. Yeah, I don't like this feeling, but yeah. Anyway, I'm sure like anyone who does YouTube, for example, or like publishes a book where they really let their creativity and personality shine, and then you feel like uncomfortable with it or unsure. Yeah, it's kind of an icky feeling. Anyway, I'm gonna read my single page of my book. Yeah, time to go to bed.
So all she could do was now either retreat and leave the room as it is with no evidence and no result in hand, or work as quickly as she can and just pray to the gods and the sea monsters and the winged creatures of Nest. She forces herself to breathe deeply. Right. That would get her nowhere. And she had made a mess for nothing. She looked around once, twice. Where else could someone keep it? She thought of the man and what Ramiro had told her and her own impression of him, and thought that he was probably the kind of person to want to look at his treasure every night before bed, just hold it, savoring it, and imagining all the things he would accomplish with it. She looked over the room once again. Where could it be? Under the pillow? She checked, but nothing. She checked in the cupboards. She checked under the sink, under the toilet even, and behind the shower curtains, but nothing. She wanted to punch the mirror, but was worried about leaving handprints. You see handprints? She wanted to stomp, but she worried to alarm anyone. In the room downstairs, oh no, the battery is running out of my little microphone thingy. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna stop filming now and just record with my phone. Bye. See you later. It's going great, actually. It's like an interesting scene, and I'm enjoying myself. Alright, see ya.
It's 7:30. I did a good solid 13 minutes, which you saw. And then I did another about not quite 45 minutes, but so almost an hour of solid writing, and it went really well. Like, I was in the scene. I think it was because it was an interesting scene. Like she has to try to be very quiet, then footsteps approach and she has to run away. So it was exciting, and there wasn't any dialogue, but I felt like the inner monologue of her was quite strong, and like had like character and like drama. I will say it's weird, like even when it's going well and I think my writing isn't bad and I'm having fun, I still kind of feel this urge to stop, to like be like, can I be done? Can I be done? And I think it's not about not enjoying writing. I think it's more like about fear, where I'm not thinking just about the scene I'm writing, but I'm like thinking about the book as a whole, and like just fearing that it's not going to be good, and like when am I going to finish, and can I do this, and all of that stuff is really what is. I mean, I pushed through. It didn't stop me from writing, but yeah, just this little feeling of resistance, just a little bit. It's interesting. I'm guessing that was like a good amount of words. So I started out at about 10:30, which is not exactly 9, is it? I don't know. I was feeling too relaxed today in the morning. Also, hello. I'm trying out my new, I wanted to Google what the word is. These kinds of pants. And I feel like together with everything, I look like I'm a kindergartner getting ready to play with glue, or I'm in like home renovations or something. I don't know. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you what had me derailed a little bit this morning. Okay, so I was distracted slightly by some YouTube. Okay, so I was watching a fascinating video by Georgia Marides, it's a play on words, who is a booktuber who talks mostly about queer, specifically like sapphic books. And she had this video out today, which is like a kind of video essay about the Hays Code and books. Excuse me. Yes. So like a video about the Hays Code and books, which I have in my time watched many a video essay on the Hays Code and film and TV and all of that stuff, because I find that very, very interesting. But I've never seen anything like go into the connection with the book industry, and also she went quite deep into the historical context. Alyssa had a new video out, Andy had a new video out, And yeah, I was stalling a little bit, but it wasn't exactly procrastination because I wasn't feeling the need to procrastinate. I was just feeling too relaxed, which sometimes happens. And it's a little bit ironic because yesterday I was like, I have to work an extra hour. And I don't know if I told you, I didn't stop at that extra hour. I worked almost until bedtime. So things are a little bit off, but no matter. I have already started working on my application. Yeah, I feel like I need a third there, which is a little bit more difficult because I don't have a specific reason or a prompt, or it's not like a video I'm making a thumbnail for. I think you get what I mean. Yeah, getting back to work now. Kind of wish I was working with children right now, just playing in the mud. I wouldn't mind it at this moment. Anyway, this is also creative.
About it all day long and asking more results. They will be smaller.
I'm really sorry, but I have to be braggy for just a second. I don't know. I feel like is this what it's like when you're good at something? Am I good at this? I don't know. I think it was this week. I created my channel banner, and that was so much fun. I took photos of my little lamp over there and my fairy lights. Are they in frame? No, they're not. Here, my fairy lights. And I extracted them and put them in this collage kind of. Then today I just crapped out this flyer for nothing. I'm sure if you're a graphic designer, you will see errors and stuff, but for the first time that I made any of those, what? Am I an artist? Am I a graphic designer professional? Yeah, I just wanted to brag about this for a second. I think it's good for us to find something where we feel confident, we know what we're doing. I didn't know what I was doing really, but I don't know, I think I have a good eye. Anyway, but now I have to write the actual job application. So, get into it. And I'm wondering, is it the get up? I don't know. Is this my true me? The bad thing about being so excited is that I cannot focus. I'm trying to edit this, this application letter. Every line I'm drifting off to my future life. I don't know, I'm feeling so full of myself right now. But I have to get this out today or tomorrow, but I would love it today because also I'm going to have to. It would be better if I could do at least one more. Okay, getting back to it. We have another clip in very low light. So it's past 10, and yes, I did forego my leisure time. Absolutely, I had none. I worked until I was finished with the application. Didn't start another either, but I think it turned out really good, and I didn't want to leave it for tomorrow and then forget because the deadline is tomorrow. So I sent it out already and got ready for bed, and that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna crunch tomorrow again, but I'm very excited about writing tomorrow because I left it off at like an exciting point where I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. Like, this is in between this one point and another big thing that I'm very excited about, where I'm not entirely sure how we, like, what is the consequence of what just happened when, like, one of my characters were trying to find and steal something, essentially. She wasn't detected, but they know that someone was in there, and so now, like, everybody is being scrutinized. So I'm not sure how all of that is going to go down. If it goes like it did today, it would be awesome, because like things kind of flowed. Ideas came to me organically as I was writing, and that's how I love it, right? But it's not always like that. Sometimes it's more like you have to force things and everything just comes out dry. And today it wasn't like that. So I'm hoping that we can keep it up. And I'm so excited for what comes after that.
Okay, so I've thought about this. What are the lessons that we can, or that I can learn from that vlog? As you see, like I've decided that I'm a morning writer. I think part of why it works is even when my routine as a whole is falling apart and I just, like, one thing just takes over. If I write the first thing in the morning, that doesn't generally fall victim to that. I mean, you probably knew that. Yeah, also my overall routine back then and even now, like, I'm fully in writing my routine. However, it still needs some work. But for now, that's fine. Saturday has always been, for a long time now, been my house chores day, and that was always fabulous. Like, and I kind of expanded that idea. A lot of people do this, but also another thing I have now, I'm still without a job, yay, but I have taken on kind of like a volunteer job, you might say. Wednesday is my YouTube day. Today is Wednesday. We're talking. I'm editing this video. No, that's a lie. Today's Thursday. Yesterday I was a smidge off, okay? I had some work to catch up on for them, and so the volunteer work kind of bled into, and then the video. I would probably never stick perfectly 100% to these themed days, but it helps me to, like, I don't have to have everything on my plate all at once. I just have to worry about the things on that day. So the interesting thing now is my lessons about writing. As I said in the beginning, I am like so in. I'm so in. um, and yeah, making this mini series has actually helped me a lot, because I was like extremely intentional about getting into my routine, mostly into my writing, and like looking back on the footage, and I don't know, it helped me connect with the joy of writing and all of that. I don't know. I'm in. I'm in now. If you're struggling, if you're like in a slump or something, I can only recommend doing something like that. Like, you could do it in your diary or talking about it with a friend, or I don't know. I have written consistently now. I have written consistently every day for at least, like, I've dedicated at least an hour to writing every day. Like, not always at the same time, but, and like, the best thing is that it's gone mostly great, or at least well, you know. I even had days where I was like, I had done my hour of writing in the morning and I was craving to go back to it during the day. I think something that I'm learning is important, and like I've learned through making this series, is joy and ease. Yes, discipline. Yes, like getting your butt in the chair and all of that, yes, is important. But figuring out really what makes writing more easy, more joyful, I think is actually important because it allows you, when your butt is in the chair, to stay there longer, you to come back to it day after day after day. Yeah, so I think it's good to experiment with things, really dedicate some thoughts to like how you can make this practice of writing more joyful and easy for you. It was also interesting to see how I dictated like 2 months ago. I do a lot less of correcting myself and making notes to myself as I dictate. Just something interesting that I observed. One lesson I think is important is keeping the ball rolling. I mean that in the sense of like consistently showing up for your writing. And in my case, I also mean the speaking into the phone, writing the words is one part, and then there's always that other part where I have to plug that into the transcription software and then clean it up a little bit. I try now to do at least half an hour of dictating new words in addition to then, like, I would either, on some days, I would do just an hour of writing, drafting, and then if like the raw transcripts are like piling up, I would do maybe like 2 days where I would do half an hour drafting and half an hour transcript cleanup. So the idea is just for me to stay, like, keep the story moving. I also really like the feeling of like almost me in real time moving through the story alongside my characters, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I try to keep the transcript cleanup as something sort of in addition to drafting that I do. Oh, that kind of brings me to another thing. I would love to do live streams. I would love to do them. Due to time zone shenanigans, most of the live streams that I see on YouTube are like not at ideal times for me. And I would like to do some of my own, you know. Only I don't want to be like there alone. Maybe I will do it alone too. I don't know. But if I could do it with another person, I could use that time for transcript cleanup. Just as you are sitting at the desk, so am I. And I don't know. I feel like it's kind of perfect. Oh, and I've also added something else into my routine that so far is extremely helpful. Being able to tell someone, like, hey, I wrote today. And then the next day, I wrote again. Guess what? I've written. I've been writing for 4 days in a row, you know? And so I've done this with the camera. Every single time, since April, every single time, I have just spoken to the camera in a very quick clip, just saying the date and that I wrote for like half an hour or something. And I would like to do that like every month. And then at the end, putting this together as like here, I was writing this month. And that is working for me as like a very low effort vlog, sort of, and like pure accountability. I'm going to try to make it motivating and interesting for you to watch as well. And I feel like this is very long, but yeah. I've also added, and I have Melissa R. from the Written Adventure to thank for this, who is doing a 75 booked. I believe it's what it's called. It's like inspired by a fitness challenge sort of thing. Her thing is a lot more rigorous, and like follow her on that journey. But she inspired me to challenge myself to read 10 pages in either an ebook or a physical book, which I'm very bad at reading them. But this is like such a low bar that I can really do that every day. And I've done that for quite a while now. And I'm like very, very slowly inching my way through a book. And I've also tried writing outside, like taking a walk, like holding my phone like this in my hand and like pretending like I'm talking to someone on the phone. And when someone walks by, I would just pause for 2 seconds and then just keep on talking. I've done that going into the park, which has been very nice, like a few times. And that, like, it was kind of inspired also by Zinnia again. She talked in the video about like taking a shower in between riding sprints to refresh. That inspired me to try showering at night. I did that once when I wanted to do a second sprint at night, but I've also done it so I could go on a walk very early in the morning. So that was also cool. And the last thing that I want to say about my routine for this third video, my laptop was out of commission for a few days, and that is in that time, like, I was being so productive with my writing. So that makes me think that it's also good that I'm going back to one video every 2 weeks, because that kind of just frees up some like time and mental space. Yeah, I feel like that was quite long. So if you're interested in doing live streams with me and our like time zones and like creative times, if those magically align, I would love to do that with you. But I'm going to post a community post like suggesting some times. If you're interested, you can just say like yay or nay to them. You can also tell me how other people arrange these like live streams with each other, because I don't know. And if you have any questions about dictation, leave them in the comments. See you in the next one, and I wish you so much good writing. It's April the 3rd, April the 6th, April the 11th, April 13th, it's April the 30th. Morning is 1st of May. It's the 2nd of May. It's May the 3rd. It's May the 7th. 8th of May. May 9th, I think. The 10th of May. May 11th. May 12th of May. May 13th. So May 14th. Maybe I said it already. So I spent 30 minutes dictating today.